We live? Are we live? We finna find out. We finna find out, man. What's going on, guys? What is going on? Oh, did not mean to do that. Let me pull up the Z chat. Let's get the chat up, man. Let's get the chat up. What is going on, guys? What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, let me pull up the Twitch. We're about to share this in the Discord as well. Am I up? Is my TikTok? Is my video up? I don't even know. Okay, we're up on Twitch. We're up on Twitch. That's a good sign. Are we up on YouTube? I think so. I think so. Let's see. Come on, bro. We got ads now. We got ads now. What's up? Killian. I hope I'm saying that right. Killian, what's up? What is going on? Can you hear me just fine? For some reason, my stream's not showing. I'm guessing we're live. Should be. Yeah. There we go. All right. We got everything rolling now. We got everything rolling. We got everything rolling. What's up, Brittany? What's up? All right. I'm about to share this with the. I'm about to share this with the Discord. We got some stuff to talk about regarding GOAT lists once again. Once again. This is what everybody voted on. So we're going to be talking about Kenny Okoye's GOAT list. It's going to be a raw reaction as well. I have not seen it. I have seen a post about it, so I do know one thing. I do know one thing about the GOAT list. I don't know the whole top 30. So everything's working bet. Hi, Casual, my sweet Pookie Princess. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let me send this to the Discord real quick. Let me get it going. Send it in announcements. I guess we're doing no UFC 5 stream this week. Unless we end up doing a surprise stream tomorrow, maybe. So, I don't know. We might end up streaming 4 times this week. We'll have to see. On my mom's iPad. Do you read YouTube chat or Twitch chat more? I got them both pulled up right now. Dylan, what's up? What is going on, guys? You know what? Let's get it started. Actually, before we dive into this, let's do guess the fighter. Let's do guess the fighter before we talk about Kenny's list. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna need y'all's help though. Before we talk about GOAT lists and everything, let's go ahead and guess the fighter. Really thought today was the day of the Fortnite stream. Sometime soon, guys. I might stream tomorrow potentially. Potentially, we might stream tomorrow and Saturday. We'll see. But let's go ahead and guess the fighter real quick. I haven't done it today. I didn't do it yesterday either. But before we get into GOAT list, let's go ahead and do this. Your biggest fan and rivals here. How you doing? Remember me? Stop ducking. What's up, King? I hope I'm saying the name right. By the way, how do you pronounce your name? Because I said puke duck. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if it's like Pookie duck, Pookie duke. I don't know, man. But yeah, I remember you, bro. What's up? What's up? Let's go look hear me out. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. Who should we rip first on the fight duel? What should be our first guess? What should be the first guess, man? You know what? For some reason, I'm kind of feeling a Sean Strickland. I'm kind of feeling a Strickland today. I don't know if we've guessed him before. Okay, at least we got a male. We have a male fighter who debuted after 2014. So they're younger than Strickland as well, but they're not American. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot a young Brazilian fighter. We can go back to like a Diego Lopez. Love your TikToks. Glad you made a channel. I appreciate you. I'm actually fat all to count. All right, let's go with the young Brazilian. We can go with the fighting nerd. No, he's not welterweight. Let's just actually go to Diego Lopez. I'll get a Brazilian. Hopefully the age range. Um, we'll see. Okay. He is Brazilian. Not featherweight, not welterweight, not middleweight. He's in between Diego Lopez and Strickland's age. Okay. Debuted before 2023, so maybe that was a bad guess. Okay, so Strickland's what, 30, 35? 35, Diego's like 31. What y'all think, guys? Gregory Obama Rodriguez. Dude, I'm going to add that in a new nickname. Y'all are saying Peter Yan? It's a Brazilian fighter. It's a Brazilian fighter, though. Charles, no UFC. Everybody voted that we react to Kenny Okoye's GOAT list. So we're doing that instead of UFC 5. Maybe, you know what? Since we haven't played UFC 5 this week, I might do it tomorrow, honestly. I might. What are you doing? We're doing Guess the Fighter right now. Oh, ran out of ideas and ran the perfect fighter challenge again. Dude, I was scrolling across that filter again and I missed it, so I had to run it back. All right, we have a fighter who's, let's see, in between Strickland and Diego Lopez, but he's also a Brazilian fighter. Maybe in like the lightweight division. I don't know how. No, Rufy. No, between 2014 and 2023, the age isn't going to match up for Charles, right? So maybe we're looking at like Caio Borralho. No, I think Caio. No, because it would be yellow for middleweight if it was Caio. Somebody said Pantoja. Pantoja? I like that guess, bro. I like that guess a lot. I like that guess a lot. Alexandre Pantoja. Ah, Pantoja. No. Okay, so in between 2017 and 2023, Vinicius Oliveira. Is Vinicius Oliveira on here? I don't know. I don't know if Vinicius is on here. They have Charles on here, but Charles, how old's Charles? Like 35, right? Or Charles might be older than 35. Borralho went nose middle. Facts. What y'all think, bro? Puck you, Doug. Puck you, Doug, or puke you, Doug? Puke you. I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. Pantoja knocked out Islam for real. People forget, bro. People forget. I'm having trouble with this one today. Between Strickland and Diego, we need to get the division down, bro. Not that many fights. It's not going to be Apollo Costa because middleweight's taken, but he wouldn't have a lot of fights. No, Pereira fought at middleweight as well, but he's older. I'm kind of stumped, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of stumped. It's not gonna be Caio. Prates made his debut at like around Diego's time, did he not? I don't know how old Prates is either. He also would be welterweight, so it's not Prates. Older. It's somebody who's what? In between 1990 and 1994. Burns. I don't think it's gonna be Burns. Because Burns is like 40, right? Burns is like 40. Gene Silva. But Silva debuted in 2023, did he not? Try random lightweight or light heavyweight. I think Silva debuted in 2023, unless I'm wrong. I think Silva debuted then. And I think Burns is too old. Is Burns not like 40? All right, we gotta get a guess out. Bantamweight Brazilian. It's not gonna be Figueiredo because this would be yellow. Featherweight. No, it's not a featherweight. Lightweight. Silva, Rufy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I don't even think it's a lightweight, bro. It might be a heavyweight. It low-key could be a heavyweight or light heavyweight. Gelton Almeida, I'm kind of liking that. Walker. Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker makes sense, actually. Less wins and less fights. Johnny Walker. That could make sense. It is Johnny Walker. Wow. Shout out to you, whoever said Johnny Walker. That was valid. I feel like I could have got to there with the less fights, maybe, but I mean, I'll take it. I forget about Johnny Walker. I'm not even gonna lie. I forget about Johnny Walker. All right, let's do these real quick, and then we'll do the. We're gonna do these two, and then we're gonna get into the GOAT list. That was a good pull. That was a good pull. Gelton Almeida was a good guess, by the way. All right, Lightning. Guess the fighter by the emojis if you don't know. Lightning. So maybe somebody that's like quick. Not Jan. Lightning. That's what I'm thinking. Like somebody that's fast. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw out O'Malley, bro. I don't know. Lightning quick. Dance. Bro. Is it Johnny Walker again? It's Johnny Walker again, guys. Lightning. Don't necessarily know what that means. We got Dancing, Brazil, Plug, and Celebrate. I don't know, bro. I got off the Dancing. Pronounce my name however you want, bet. I got you. I got you. That was interesting. That was interesting. Back-to-back Johnny Walkers. Let's go with the quote. Dude, they must shuffle through like 5 quotes, bro. They seriously must shuffle through like 5 quotes because we've seen this one 3 times on stream. And it's Kevin Holland. All right. Back to GOAT list talk, man. We're going to be reacting to Kenny Okoye's top 30 fighters. That's what we're doing. Y'all told me to react to Kenny Okoye's. I heard that it's worse than Lucas's list. And you know what? Actually, upon further inspection, Lucas Tracy's list, look, I think it's bad just because I think his view on greatness is different than mine. I respect his list. I respect him coming out and having a different opinion than everybody else. But I just don't agree. You know what? His list lines up with the criteria that he gave. I just see greatness as a different thing. I find it hard for somebody to be considered one of the GOATs when they have not reached the pinnacle of their division, which winning the title. Like Arman Sarukian, for example, I don't see him as a top 20 greatest fighter of all time because he hasn't even won the belt yet. But I do think his resume is very good. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this, bro. I'm gonna have to listen. We're gonna have to start listening to the explanations on these because I didn't do a good job last time of listening and hearing them out. But let's go ahead and see.
People think that they're like, oh no, like they think they're.
Also, let me know if you can hear the volume well.
They're onto some shit.
Let me know if I need to turn it up or something.
No, you're not. I think about this more than anyone. I have the best fucking GOAT list on the planet. Yeah, son. Third best. Everyone wants me to debate. Listen, I don't want to turn this entire thing into like, oh, this debate, bro. Like, I just wanted to hop on here to defend my takes. It's gonna turn into like
Kenny stuff?
The Kenny Lucas show debate type of thing.
I know Lucas show.
Lucas. I saw you guys spamming his live, brother. I don't really care for the debate with Lucas. I just know what Lucas Tracy's intentions were when he dropped that GOAT list. I know what his intentions were.
And I'm just going to skip to when he gives his list.
It's because it makes Volk look better in turn, so we can look at the Volk loss and be like, well, that wasn't that bad of a loss. Simply, I had to expose that just so people.
How are you? I'm good, Rick. What's up? What's up? Thoughts on MMA? I've seen him in the chat before. I've seen his videos pop up. He seems like a cool dude. I can't lie. He seems like a cool dude. Audio's fine, bet. Audio's perfect, bet. Kenny Loki, D1 Rage Baiter. All my homies hate Lenny Okoye. Well, I haven't watched this yet, guys. We're going to see. We're going to see. Let me go ahead and shrink this a little bit. Hold on, guys. Hold on, gang. Let me get the right. Why is it off? What the heck? Okay. I think there we go. Let's see, guys.
It wasn't a genuine list. It was just a rage baiting list to make Volk get his flowers.
Y'all hit the like
Lucas Tracy wants to do.
Well.
All that being said, guys, let's get into my top 30 list. Now, no,
because I heard
you guys are expecting to see something like Lucas, me putting out a signing number 2 and then making all these other middleweights like top 30. That's not what you're gonna get. I'm actually an honest person,
and I honestly made this list.
So this is the official GOAT list in my opinion. Of course, there's going to be people in the comments who disagree, but let's get into the video. I'll tell you guys a quick disclaimer real quick. I'm going to talk about the criteria, but in the slides themselves, I only mention the wins and losses. You actually have to listen to this video and listen to my reasonings of why I have them there.
He said you got to hear him out. In other words, he said you have to hear him out. You can't just look at the wins and losses. You have to hear out his explanation. So we're going to try to do that, all right? We're going to try to do that. Do you think Lewis will win? I think Derek Lewis always has a chance to win, but I don't think he's going to win.
Why can you put this? I value quality of win.
All right, criteria. Quality of wins. I think that was the first thing on Lucas's list as well. I think that's valid. Dominance. This is something different. Dominance. Championship medal. I do like this. I like that he is implementing. I know I get that title wins are not everything, but at the same time, that's kind of what greatness means. Greatness means achieving something, as in winning a title, being the best in your division at that time. Context of losses. That's interesting. I see what he means, but that's interesting. Context of losses. Official results matter. Hey guys, if y'all saw Lucas scored a bunch of robberies in favor of how he judged the fight. Okay, there's a little bit of bias in there. I'm not gonna lie, there was some bias in there. Bro, make yourself louder than Kenny, please. Just realized the beard is back. Yeah, should I shave it again, guys? All good lists need to start with Chael at God tier and Game Run at 1 Facts. Everyone's a casual except MMA Joey. I already hate my life and we're just 1 minute in. All right, let's go.
Me and Lucas here agree on that. I also value dominance, and I value it very highly. I feel like, yes, you're beating the...
I like that he's factoring in dominance. I know I keep pausing it, but dominance, that shows greatness in my eyes. I like that. I like that.
Quality of wins. Are they good people? Okay, are you going to split decision? Is it like a Volkanovski, Max Holloway 2, where like I thought Max won, but you know, I don't think that's a great win. Like, it's a good win on paper, but how was the dominance in that fight? You know, was it a dominating performance or was it like a wishy-washy performance? So quality of wins, dominance, championship medal. People try, like Lucas is trying to do something nowadays, and a lot of other people are. We're like, titles don't matter, titles don't do this, title wins don't do.
I agree with
this. Is the thing. This is how I feel about title wins. I feel like when you have a championship, it shows that you're the best in your weight class actively and currently. And I feel as if it's showing that even if I don't agree with the level of opposition back in the day, so like even these older fighters, guys, you're not gonna see them at like number fucking 30. Like I'm not gonna put Silva number 30 because I just feel like these guys are, bro, people evolve, of course, but I'm gonna look at the quality of wins at the time and the dominance at the time and the championship medal at the time. You gotta take it with a grain of salt.
I agree with that. It's hard. You can't judge eras, bro. You can't compare eras because the sport evolves, man. If we, like I said this in a video, if we get to a point where people start discrediting, let's say Ilia Topuria, for example. If people start discrediting a Charles Oliveira win or a Volkanovski win or a Holloway win, bro, I'm going to crash out.
Because if not, guys...
there's no way the sport evolves as much as it has since the Silva era, but that's just what I'm saying.
Silva's not in my top 30. You know, GSP, brother, out like top 10. Like, I don't want to do them that dirty, so I am going to acknowledge their championship medal at the time. I also said context of the losses. How are you losing? Are you like winning the whole fight then losing? Then I'm like, okay, that matters, brother. You know,
all right, let's skip a little bit.
The judges' eye against your Whitaker, for sure. Opinions are correct. Yes, baby. Let's get it, brother.
Oh, we're starting off hot, guys. Look, I'm going to hear him out. I'm going to try my best to hear him out and everything. Should I move? I might need to move. I'll move this down here so y'all can see the wins and stuff. But Khamzat Chimaev at number 30. Let's hear it.
Dale, brother. Dale. We're starting off with Khamzat Chimaev. And I know people like little bit confused maybe. Brother, Usman. I know it's 10 days notice, but that's Usman. And Usman was working in that fight. Khamzat had to work for that win. Robert Whitaker.
Well, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I do agree. I like this point a lot. Khamzat Chimaev, the Kamaru Usman win gets very, very underrated and discredited, which I understand the circumstances were not ideal, not even close to ideal for Kamaru Usman, but it's still Kamaru Usman, bro. That win has got underrated so very much, man. Lighter man skill. Kamaru Usman moving up to the middleweight division. It's not like he was off the couch like Volk. He was training. Again, I think it was a good win for Khamzat. I do. I think it was a pretty good win. Not the same as if he were to beat Kamaru Usman on a full camp, but I still think it was great.
And like I said, you guys got to look at what I look at. Quality of wins and dominance.
Because a lot of people lose to that same version of Kamaru Usman. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people lose to that dude.
Usman's quality, he won it barely. I thought it was a draw. But Whitaker, that's a quality opponent in a dominating fashion, and Whitaker was well prepared. Whitaker had 2 camps to get ready for Khamzat. Like, he was well prepared for Khamzat Chimaev, and he gets treated like that. He made Whitaker look like he never hustled with the stars or tussle with the law or shook his homie hand after they punched him in the jaw. He made him look like a fraud, and that
Bro, is Kenny rapping right now?
Fight. He did.
Immediately invalidates
Like
it.
I watched that fight. I was like, whoa. This guy's going against quality opponents and beats on him. Burns, good fight, tough fight. He wins it. That's a good name.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hear him out on every single placement. Maybe the top 10, because this is gonna take forever. But Hamza Chimaev, I don't even think this is ridiculous, especially based on his criteria of dominance. Hamzat's dominated almost every single one of his fights, bro. He didn't dominate Usman, but he dominated Whitaker. He dominated Kevin Holland. Jared Meerschaert, man. But he has some dominant performances for sure. For sure. Li Jingliang, man. I mean, who does that to the Leech? Hamzat at 30 is interesting. I don't hate it. I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate it. If he wins the title, if he beats Dricus, I mean, maybe top 25, bro.
Look.
The wins would be Burns, Whitaker, Usman, Dricus du Plessis.
I'm gonna talk. Careful, Cruz. His wins against DJ.
Dominic Cruz at 29, man. See, I'm not gonna hear him out on everything, man. I'm not gonna hear him out on everything. I think Dominic, I mean, it's not crazy low. Dominic Cruz is kind of low, though. Just, it's the thing about perception, man. Oh, that's good right there. That's good right there. Casual Take only likes country. What? All right. Dominic Cruz, if you perceptionalize, guys, I don't even know if that was a word, but there's a vocabulary lesson. If you just look at Hamza Chimaev and Dominic Cruz off the bat, you think that they are not even close in terms of GOAT list, right? Yeah, Dominic Cruz is too low.
TJ
He's
favorite.
got Demetrius Johnson, kind of not the best win because it was DJ at bantamweight. TJ Dillashaw, I think that's his best win. Uriah Faber twice, Joseph Benavidez twice, who's also a flyweight. I think I said featherweight. I meant flyweight. Lost to Cejudo after a 4-year layoff. And then at this point, he had been out of the game for years, and he's old, battling injuries. Dominic Cruz would have been so much higher if he would not have battled through all those injuries, bro. But you know what? It's not crazy. That's not ridiculous.
Look at me,
Robert
when
Whitaker.
I say, brother, twice. You know, this is true. This is true. This is facts. This
Beat Romero, Gastelum, Till, Vittori, Jared, Ikram. All right. Why are we leaving Ikram on here? Let's be real. Let's be real. Why we got Ikram as a notable win? I mean, at the time, though, you know what? I will say at the time, Ikram did look really, really good, but still, no.
actually
Lost
happened.
to Izzy twice, lost to Dricus, lost to Hamzat, lost to Wonderboy. He has good losses. He does have really, really good losses, but Whitaker's always the second or third best fighter in the division. So
Outstruck him the entire fight. In the first fight, knocked him out
Dominic
so
Cruz
bad.
is a bit too low. He was dominant in his prime. His prime got cut short, man. You know what? Dominic Cruz and Hamzat Chimaev might be the two biggest what ifs in UFC history. Also, guys, did y'all hear that Hamzat Chimaev could possibly be retiring if he wins the title? There's a rumor swirling. I don't know how true it is, but I've said that. Guys, I will have predicted that if that does come through fruition. There's another vocab word. If that happens, guys, I've said that. Y'all can clip it somewhere. Somewhere along the lines, I said I see Hamzat Chimaev as winning the title and potentially retiring. I don't see him sticking around and trying to defend the belt a bunch of times. Maybe he wins the belt and then immediately tries to become double champ. I can see that. Lucas Tracy would have said Whitaker won both the Izzy fights for his GOAT list facts. I'm not believing anything Kaio says. I'm not going to believe it yet, but I don't think I don't put it past him, to be honest.
Footage might be deleted.
I
Someone
could
checking
see
that
it.
footage
I really
still up.
could
I'm
see
pretty
it.
sure they deleted the footage. Something about too graphic for YouTube. I don't know.
Oh my
And then-
gosh, guys.
Oh, now it's problem.
27, Movsar Evloev. Why? Wait, why? Why? No. Top 30. I understand he's undefeated, bro, but like, this is why it's so hard to rank these undefeated fighters while they're still fighting. Movsar at 27, guys. He has Movsar Evloev over Dominic Cruz and Robert Whitaker. This is not a good start, man. This is not a good start. I can't lie. This is not a good start. He has a win over Aljamain Sterling, which is his best win. It is. Diego Lopez on short notice. making his debut, if I'm not mistaken, right? I believe so. Arnold Allen, guys, let's not act like, okay, first of all, he's talking about dominance. The Aljamain Sterling fight, very, very close. The Lopez fight, pretty close. The Arnold Allen fight, also very, very close. And then Dan Ige and Nick Lentz. Is that what we're talking about right now? It's getting bad, guys. I don't know what's come across the new generation of MMA fans, bro. What? I mean, maybe I could see the argument if he was dominating Aljamain Sterling, dominating Diego Lopez, dominating Arnold Allen, since that's his criteria, but he wasn't. The fights were extremely close. Movsar over Hamzat's even debatable. I don't even like that argument. I don't even like Evloev over Hamzat. What? This does not fit his criteria. This is just he likes Movsar Evloev and he thinks Evloev's underrated. You know what? I don't know, bro. That's not valid at all. I'm not hearing you out.
Movsar
You know what? We'll try to hear him out for a second.
Evloev, guys.
I said good luck, casual. You're gonna need it. Yeah, I guess I will. Kenny broke his own criteria already. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Quality of wins, and
He said quality of wins, which he does have some good quality right there. Dominance, number 2. His top 3 wins were all very, honestly, controversial decisions. And his third criteria, if I'm not mistaken, was what? Championships? Am I tripping? Let me know if I'm tripping, but I think Kenny might be on something here. He's not fitting his criteria. He's already going off script.
I do feel like most of these fights, Movsar has full control over. You know, some people try to shame decision victories. I honestly see decisions like you're going in there and you're literally testing all the skills of him. He beat Lopez, who's a title challenger, who went in there and dropped Volk, had Volk going through adversity. You know, Movsar went.
Dude, I hate it. People do this so much, man. I'm probably guilty of it as well. But people cherry pick, man. Like, you're not going to hear him talk about how Diego Lopez was making his debut and on short notice. But when it fits him, man, when it's useful, he'll use that same argument in the other direction. He's talking about the Lopez win, which has aged well. Yeah, it's a good win. But Diego Lopez, am I wrong, or was Diego Lopez not making his debut on short notice? And he didn't even, it's not like he even dominated him. He didn't. He didn't dominate any of these.
Through less
Maybe
adversity than
Danny
Volkanovski. Fun
I have
fact.
to watch that fight.
You know, he
again. I
wasn't
don't
getting
remember.
rocked on the feet and dropped. He didn't get dropped. You know, you can't really find a clip of Movsar even getting dropped. You know, no offense, Volk. You're
Oh, he hasn't
strong,
been
bold
dropped,
guy.
guys.
Just not Movsar. You're never going to find that. He beat Aljamain Sterling. That's a really good win. That's an all-time great. You know, bantamweight GOAT to me. You know, beating Aljamain, that's no simple.
He's top 30, guys. He's never been dropped. That's why. That's why. He's not a striker, but he just hasn't got dropped. So he's top 30 all time.
Has beat Arnold Allen. People always glaze Arnold Allen when they talk about Max or like all these other fighters to hype up. Let's talk about him for Movsar though, because Movsar beat him soundly. The only moment Allen had in the fight was illegal knees. Let's be real. Movsar Evloev needs his appreciation. Dan Ige, who nearly beat Lopez, who, like I said, fought for the title. Nick Lentz. I'm just bringing up Nick Lentz because he's on some GOAT's resume, like, you know, Islam Makhachev. He's on. Nick Lentz been around. He's been around. So like for Movsar to go in there and put a beats on him like Doc.
I'm done hearing you out, bro. I'm done hearing you out. Guys, he is Movsar, and just put this into perspective, okay?
It has to be number 26.
Look who are right next to each other on his GOAT list. Dustin Poirier and Movsar Evloev. How? Oh, dude, the recency bias is getting out of hand, man. It is. It's getting out of hand bad. When Dustin Poirier, I think, is a borderline top 25 fighter of all time. I'm not mad if you have him in the top 25. I might even have him in my top 25, honestly. Wins over Gaethje, who he's 1-1 with, Michael Chandler, Max Holloway twice. That's probably his best win at this point. Conor McGregor twice, Dan Hooker, Eddie Alvarez. He's got some really good names. Also lost to Gaethje once. Conor. Also, that was not... It was a young Dustin Poirier when Conor beat him, but this was not a tadpole Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier was on like his 10th UFC fight at the time. So I hate that people discredit that. Some people discredit in favor of Dustin Poirier, saying that he lost to McGregor when he was a little kid. He was on like his 10th UFC fight. Yes, he was younger. And then he lost to Cub Swanson, Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie, he was a tadpole, I think. I think that might have been like his 4th or 5th UFC fight, which is different. Fourth fight's different than 10th. Let's be real. If you're going on resume, then Poirier is an awful facts. Movsar doesn't compare with the other fight. Dude, that was bad. No one with Movsar's haircut came in top 30.
See him kind of high, sometimes kind of low on people, but he's almost a top 25 fighter of all time. Of course, he's never won a
Almost
belt,
the top 25.
like I said, but it's not a big deal because
How? All right, I got to move past the Movsar Evloev guys. I hope it doesn't get worse than that. I'm already kind of upset about that.
25 list, so you're gonna start recognizing some names.
I don't mind the spot for Dustin Figueiredo.
I don't really
I like this actually. I like Davison Figueiredo here. He beat Alexandre Pantoja, which is aged beautifully. Now it was not prime Pantoja, but it's aged very well. It also was not debut Pantoja. I don't know where in his career he was, but yeah, Poirier's the most valid placement so far. I agree. The Figueiredo one looks good too. Because he beat Pantoja, he beat Moreno. Did Moreno beat? They had 4 fights, right? So I guess Moreno won twice, though. Did Moreno beat him twice? Did Moreno beat Figueiredo twice? Am I tripping? I think he did. I think they had a draw. Anyway, Joseph Benavidez, who's on everybody's resume. Let's be real. But he's a good fighter. We had a good fighter at the time. Good fighter. Couple bantamweights. He beat Rob Font. He beat Chito Vera. Lost to Moreno, Corey, and Jan. He's got good losses. Actually, really good losses. Really, really good losses is Figueiredo.
I feel like people appreciate flyweights a lot, and I feel like Figgy's one of those that I hate.
Dude, and he has Max Holloway and Movsar Evloev 3 places. 2 people in between them. I think Max should be higher, bro. Max at 24. Come on, bro. He has a win over Justin Gaethje. A lot of people think Gaethje is his best win. You can make the argument. Based on the performance and everything, it was great. Aldo twice. Brian Ortega, domination. Yair Rodriguez, good fight, by the way. Good Yair win. Calvin Kattar, domination. Frankie Edgar, Anthony Pettis, Arnold Allen. Why is this so far down? Arnold Allen, low-key, arguably, this might be controversial. I think the Arnold Allen win, low-key, better than the Ortega. Better than the Ortega win. 2-1-1 for Brandon. That's what I thought. I thought there was a draw in there. Everyone would kill me for this, but I have Poirier at number 8. Yeah, that's high, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's high. I think Max Holloway should be higher. Way higher than 24. I have Max Holloway in my top 15, I think. I think I have him like 15, 14, something like that. But his 2 losses being Dustin, one of them being Max's debut, and the other one being him fighting Dustin going up to lightweight, which he was fat. I believe that was on short notice as well. Volk 3 times, some close fights, but still. I don't know how to feel about this, guys. When somebody, like for example, Volkanovski beat Max Holloway 3 times. Do y'all factor that as him beating the same guy 3 different times, or do y'all factor that as like 3 separate wins against elite competition? Because it's hard. It's hard to judge on that. Because usually I factor it as 3 separate wins against the Max Holloway caliber fighter, and maybe it's just a stylistic thing, but either way, it's still greatness from Volk. Not bad losses at all. Lost to McGregor. Also, young Max Holloway. And then Bermudez. I think that was even a split decision. But also, these are all young Max Holloway. Let's be real. 1, 2, 3 of his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 of his 7 losses were young Max Holloway. He got beat by Volk 3 times in his prime. He did get beat in his prime, but
I don't like when Korean Zombie started fighting people when he knew damn well he shouldn't have been. But I'm gonna add it because
really
people are gonna
wins,
just mention it in the comments
really
probably.
Good wins.
But yeah, you never,
Charles.
You almost never see Charles dominate
I think Charles is top 25. Best wins being Dustin, Justin, Chandler, and Lee. Also has win over Tony. He said lost to many people, both good and mid. That's true. That's true, man. If you look at his entire career, Charles has a lot of losses, yes. But a lot of them were back in the day, and then he had 12 fight win streak, right? 12 fight win streak. In his prime, he was a completely different fighter. It's hard to judge that as well. I feel like there are other better fighters than Max. I think if you beat the same guy 3 times, then that deserves credit, but you also have to get context of where the opponent was in their career. I like that. Dude, imagine if Dustin beats Max for the 3rd time, bro. That's going to be very impressive because this is the most favorable. You can arguably say this is the most favorable matchup for Dustin. Yeah, it is. It is. Not. Hold on. Wait, that came out wrong. Not the most favorable matchup. It's the most favorable matchup for Max. So if Dustin were to beat him now, it would be even more impressive to me because Max, yes, he's more comfortable at lightweight now. He's not fat, but at the same time, Dustin's on the way out. Dustin's old, man. Dustin's old. Max is closer to his prime. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at. Charles is a fighter better than Max, but due to resume, Max is higher. I agree. I think Max's resume is also better. I don't think. Yeah, I don't like this already,
because
bro.
he gets hit and rocked a lot and dropped a lot, you know. But he's still good, and I want to. The reason he's 23
Guys,
pretty decently high is that the championship medal. The guy, like, he came through all that adversity, still won the belt. Like, sit down.
Magomed Ankalaev. You know what? Magomed in the top 30. I don't even think that's ridiculous, but guys, are people just rage baiting nowadays, bro? Are people rage baiting? Because look, I will admit, he has some actually pretty good wins. Magomed has some pretty good wins, being Alex Pereira, great win. Rakic, good win. Thiago Santos, good win. Nikita Krylov, good win. Anthony Smith, Volkan Oezdemir, good win. Johnny Walker at the time. And not even at the time. It's all right. It's all right. He has some good wins, though. He does. But to go ahead and say, Ankalaev is higher on the GOAT list than Max Holloway. I don't know how, man. I don't know how. Because he hasn't lost. And he got fluked against Paul Craig, which was very flukish. It was very fluky. Man, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's just too hard to judge these fighters that are here, like, that are still fighting today. It's too difficult, bro. It's too difficult. But there's no chance that Ankalaev is higher than Max. You can tell, man. Kenny he does talk about biases a lot. He said something at the beginning of the video how Lucas Tracy's whole list was just biased. You can see the bias in here right now. Magomed Ankalaev, Movsar Evloev, Hamzat Chimaev. Arguably, all three of them should not be here. None of them should be here, potentially. He's been known to glaze all three of these guys. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know what's going on nowadays. But, like, even as criteria, championship wins, he has won. Dominance. He sort of dominated the Rakic fight, right? He didn't dominate Pereira. Come on, bro. What about the Jan Blachowicz fight? He didn't dominate that either. What about the draw? What about the draw to Jan Blachowicz? Jan Blachowicz never gets love on these lists.
And calm down.
Boldish Bauer.
His win over Pereira is better than...
Should we hear this one out? Should we hear this one out? Let me know if I should just skip or we should hear it out. What y'all think, bro? I'm in awe right now. What are these GOAT lists? Dude, I just did a top 10 or I did a top 15. Do I need to do a top 30 to prove to everybody that I know ball? Actually, guys, I'm going to cook something crazy. I'm going to cook something very crazy. I'm going to build a fat criteria and have them all blend together to cook the definitive UFC GOAT list, okay? Skip, hear it out. Skip, this is irredeemable. Somebody said let him cook. Most of y'all are saying skip. This is irredeemable. There's no amount of context that can save him, apparently. If you like bro shorts, you should see his pants. I freaking love that. What's up, bro? I love your shorts. What's up, Jake? I appreciate you. We're skipping this. Oh, he yapped for a minute.
Fuck debates. I'm not Lucas Tracy, you know. I don't duck. I'll eat you alive in the comments. Be careful.
When is Fortnite?
Right,
I don't know, D-Mac. We're going to run it soon.
Let's go 21.
This list is way worse than Lucas. It's looking pretty bad so far. I can't lie. The thing is, Kenny laid out his criteria, and this list so far has not even matched his own criteria that he's laid out. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Conor McGregor. I think 21's valid placement for Conor.
One-
That's valid.
He has the 2 belts for a reason. Conor McGregor. I got him.
Why does he have Dustin? Maybe the order doesn't matter, but I'm guessing the order doesn't matter because Dustin's not his best win. At the time, it was not the best win. If he would have beat Dustin in the trilogy, then yeah, it would have been his best win. But his best win's Aldo. Peak Aldo, bro. The best version of Jose Aldo. Right? So Aldo, great win. At the time, that's like as good of a win as you can get. Eddie Alvarez also was a great win. He was a champion. Chad Mendez was a good win at the time. Young Max Holloway, Nate Diaz, he redeemed himself, also going up 2 weight classes. And young Dustin Poirier lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov and lost to Dustin twice. One of them via injury. Not a bad loss. And Nate Diaz. Losses are not bad. His losses are not bad at all. I think this is a valid placement for McGregor. I think he's top 25. I like this. I just hit a goon and came back to Conor number 21. Wow. Wow. This in Lucas' list is not even close to the levels of atrocity.
Here because he's a double champ, but he's a dog and he finds ways
to Duplessis top 20. I've been seeing a couple people doing this actually. A couple of people have put DDP in the top 30. Top 30 is not crazy. I will say top 30 is not crazy. Again, it's hard to rank these guys because yes, he's undefeated right now. Is he going to be undefeated when he retires? Probably not. So maybe once he loses, he drops down a little bit. Maybe. Khabib, valid loss. Diaz will always be a hard watch. Yeah, on paper, losing to Nate Diaz sounds bad, bro. But when you look at the context, short notice opponent, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Conor McGregor was supposed to fight. Was it RDA? I think it might be RDA. I think it was RDA. But anyway, short notice, going up to welterweight for that fight as well. He gassed out. Nate Diaz being an unfinishable opponent, practically. That loss really isn't as bad as it looks like on paper. Dricus Du Plessis beat Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, Strickland twice. Really good names on the resume, bro. Really good name. Really good names. Derek Brunson, decent. Darren Till, decent. No losses yet. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't mind this take. I'm gonna be real. I don't mind this take right now.
Win, and yes,
if he loses to Chimaev, maybe you bump him down a couple spots. But even losing to Khamzat Chimaev is not. You can't hang your head about that, bro. Even if people try to discredit a Khamzat Chimaev in the future, they're gonna say, "Bro, he had no cardio, bro. He was one-dimensional." I'm not ready for that, guys. I'm not ready for that. But if Dricus adds Khamzat Chimaev to his resume, are we talking like top 15 all time, bro? I'm being so serious. I think you can make the argument.
It's not lost to anyone. But though we got young
top 20
prime
is
DC.
not bad. Stipe at 19. I would have him slightly higher, I think, but 19. I would have him. I think I have Stipe. Do I have him top 15? Maybe just outside of my top 15. I don't think Stipe's top 10. I'm gonna be real. It's just very hard for heavyweight fighters in general to be goated. To be real. I have him at 9. Petr Yan at 9. I hope not. DDP had this clean style. People wouldn't bat an eye. Exactly. That is very true. That's a good take. John Jones 1, GSP 2, Mighty Mouse 3, Silva 4, Volk 5. That's decent. That's decent. The Izzy one isn't as good of a win because the undeserved title shot, but it's still a good name. Izzy looked great in the fight, though. Izzy looked really, really good. You should check out Kenny versus Noodles. What is that? Where'd my gummy bears go? I've looked everywhere. Stipe too low. He should be 13. I think Stipe, I think Stipe's top 15-ish. Maybe just outside, potentially. But look, he beat DC twice. DC was older, but I mean, so was Stipe. Young. He specified young Francis. Okay, I mean, yes, but he still beat Francis. That wasn't, I mean, it was still Francis in a title fight. Right? I think so. Junior Dos Santos, great win. I actually don't know how old he was. Alistair Overeem, Fabricio Verdum. Lost to Stefan Struve. This is the worst loss. But at the same time, Stefan Struve, tough matchup because he's a skyscraper. Prime Ngannou, cannot hang your head about that. DC cannot hang your head about that. He's also 2-1 with DC. Oh, he's 1-1 with Junior Dos Santos. Wow. Stipe's got a good resume, though. Stipe's got a really good resume. Heavyweight, I think he's the heavyweight GOAT by far. I don't think it's that close. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, he has not mentioned Francis Ngannou yet, guys. Expect to see Francis Ngannou here. I wouldn't be surprised if he has Ngannou in the top 15, bro. I would not be surprised. Ngannou, I think's top 30. But yeah, if Stipe's
Why
here,
does your internet always
sorry,
buffer
guys,
at the
we gotta
worst
add.
moment? Is
We
your
gotta add.
internet really as fast as your
That keeps your hair not getting
Who's
gray.
next?
Win
Aljo at
against
18.
Cater.
Aljo at 18. Okay. Aljamain Sterling beat Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo, Corey Sandhagen, Calvin Kattar. Dude, you know what? Aljamain Sterling's too high. He's too high. He lost to Movsar Evloev, lost to Sean O'Malley, lost to Marlon Moraes. You know what? Aljamain Sterling has some good names on paper, but he beat Jan via DQ. Beat him in the rematch, but he beat him via DQ. He beat Henry Cejudo, he beat Cejudo, okay? He beat younger Corey Sandhagen, I guess, but he beat TJ Dillashaw as well, who dislocated his arms. Both of them. I think he should be higher. There's Ngannou, guys. There's Ngannou. I knew it was coming. 17, man. You cannot say this is not biased. Just look how he types some things. Every gen of heavyweight. He beat Peak Stipe. Debatable. He beat Cyril Gane barely. He beat Curtis Blades. I think he beat Curtis Blades twice. Yeah, twice. Good win. Cain Velasquez, older Cain, but I think that was Cain's last fight, but good win. Junior Dos Santos, older, good win. Overeem, brutal. Arlovsky. He does have some good on paper, and Ngannou's resume looks like he's the heavyweight GOAT on paper. Lost to Stipe and lost to Derek Lewis. Lost to Derek Lewis, man. It's a bad loss, bro. I don't care how you look at it. A loss to Derek Lewis is not. It's not good. It's by decision too. It's not like he just got caught. He lost to him by decision. I don't love this placement. Ngannou should be lower. I do like Ngannou in the top 30, but 17, no. Aldo at 16, I think a little bit too low. I don't think it's crazy, but lost to every elite fighter. Beat Frankie Edgar, Chad Mendez, Korean Zombie, Jeremy Stevens, Cheeto. Yeah. The longevity's been crazy. If you want to factor in longevity to a GOAT list, Aldo has been very longevitive. Don't think that's a word, but yeah, he's lost to what? McGregor in his peak, not just his prime. This was Aldo's peak. Lost to McGregor, Holloway twice. I think he lost to Marlon Moraes. I think he did. Lost to Jan, lost to Marab. Yeah, he has great losses, but yeah, he has not beat. He really didn't beat an elite fighter. At the time, the Edgar wins were great, but he hasn't beat a good new gen fighter at all. He hasn't. It's not like he was 40 years old fighting Holloway. Not even close. He was low 30s. Aldo 16 is pretty good. It's all right. I think. Oh, well, you know what? I think I have Aldo at like 13, so that's not
Every
crazy.
elite fighter he won against, he'll
Volk,
lose to.
yeah,
Poor guy
Volk as
can't
well.
beat Jan, can't beat Max, can't beat Volk. It's all.
Pantoja
beat-
top 15, guys. I love this. I love this. Pantoja top 15. I like it. I have Pantoja at 16. I have him at 16, but yeah, 2 win. I think he has 3 wins over Moreno. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has 3. Well, you know, maybe one's the Ultimate Fighter, right? I think. No, that's Kai Car. I don't know. Yeah. And then 2 wins over Kai Car France, 2 wins over Roy Val, Urseg, Manel Kopp. Dude, he's beating everybody except Figueiredo. If he would have beat Figueiredo, bro, Pantoja would have legitimately beat the whole flyweight division in that era. And if he adds Joshua Van, it's not going to sound great right now. People are going to be like, oh, he beat Joshua Van. People are going to discredit the win. Joshua Van's on what, an 8-fight win streak? Maybe not that much, but something like that. He's on a good win streak right now. But yeah, I have Pantoja really just out. Oh my God, the study was crazy. I have him just outside the top 15. I don't mind this spot.
Lucas Trace.
Pereira in the top 15 is not ridiculous either. You know what? Maybe he's starting to cook. Maybe he's starting to cook. Aldo over Holloway is crazy. I think they're very close, actually, in terms of just resumes, or not even resumes. It depends. Do you factor in WEC? If you do, if this is just an MMA GOAT list and not strictly UFC, then Aldo will be higher. That's what I think. When Pantoja beats Van, it'll age great and he'll be close to the top 10. Yeah, hopefully it does age well. If it doesn't, people are going to be, well, people might even say, oh, he beat a 23-year-old Joshua Van, or 24, however old he'll be by the time they fight. People might be like, oh, he was young, he wasn't good. He's on a nice win streak, just beat Brandon Royval.
Max and put the yawn as an L on his thing. I'm not going to do that.
Pereira top
Gary
15 's
twice,
valid.
cool.
I have him just outside, but yeah, valid.
Yeah.
Because, look, he 1-1 with Izzy, so you can call that a wash if you want to. He beat Jan Blachowicz. Really close fight, but he beat him. Yuri twice, valid. Jamal Hill hasn't aged well, but he dominated. I mean, yeah, he dominated. He dominated Yuri in one of the fights. Dominated Hill. Knocked out Strickland in the first round, which is aged very well. Pereira's really good, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like top 15.
More people, you know. Most of them are.
Anderson Silva at 13, man. See, tell me if I'm wrong, but is he not going against his criteria? Is he not going against his criteria, which his number one was quality of wins, which, yes, I agree, Silva does not have the best quality of wins when you look at it in hindsight now. But number two is dominance. Silva's one of the most dominant fighters of all time. And not only that, his number 3 thing on the criteria was championship wins, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, he doesn't fit 1 great, but 2 and 3, he's arguably the best at 2 and 3. I mean, let's be real. But it's still hard to say. Yeah, he does have a lot of losses, which he didn't include losses. He said context of losses on his resume or on his criteria. So if you look at the context of Silva's losses as well, you can look. I'm defending Silva. I'm defending Silva right now. Look at this. But if you look at the context of losses, which was on Kenny's criteria, Silva lost to Weidman. If you look at the context, he was playing in the octagon. He was, mocking Chris Weidman and got caught. So is that a skill issue or is that him making a mistake? In the rematch, the context of his loss, which again is the criteria, he broke his leg. There's 2 questionable losses just like that. Fast forward, context of the next losses is he's getting older, coming off a brutal leg injury. Yes, he lost to every new gen middleweight, but he was older at the time. He was 38-ish, something like that. How old was he when he lost to Weidman? How old was Silva when he lost to Chris Weidman? Somebody let me know. How old was Silva? Was he actually 38? Silva was 38 when he lost to Weidman, bro. If that's valid, if that's true, then we got to do context. I mean, he's not following his criteria, man. Silva at 13 is not. I have Silva at 7. I think I have Silva in the top 10. I see the argument that people bring to the table with Silva, but at the time, the wins were good. Now, they're not so much. Silva just want to keep collecting the bag in older age. Yeah. 38? Yeah. He was 38 when he lost to Chris Weidman. So he's 38, maybe even 39 in the rematch, but he broke his leg at 38 years old, so he has to take time off, and he's only getting older. So we're talking about context of losses. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Oh, no. No. No, bro. No. Cejudo over Silva. Nah, bro. This is rage bait. This has got to be rage bait. Y'all think maybe, I think I figured it out. I think I cracked the code, but I think Kenny Okoye just loves to glaze fighters that people don't like. I think that's what I'm starting to put the pieces together, because think about it, bro. He's got Aljamain Sterling on here. pretty high, way too high. Cejudo, way too high. He's got Magomed Ankalaev too high. Movsar Evloev, 4 fighters that UFC fans just don't like. I think I'm cooking. Bro. What? That's crazy. Cejudo, look, the thing about Henry Cejudo is on paper, his resume looks so good. It looks so good because he has Mighty Mouse. He's got TJ Dillashaw. He's got Dominic Cruz, which are 3 elite wins. But we want to talk about context of losses. Let's talk about context of wins, okay? Demetrius Johnson, who already beat him. The time that Cejudo did beat him, it was a controversial split decision. Okay? In DJ's last UFC fight. TJ Dillashaw sounds like a good win, right? But TJ Dillashaw was cutting down to flyweight. TJ cut down to flyweight for the first and only time, and he got beat. Dominic Cruz coming off a 4-year layoff. A 4-year layoff, guys. Think about how everybody, discredited Kamaru Usman for coming off a 1.5-year layoff, saying he's going to be washed, he's not going to be the same. Imagine if it would have been 4 years. Yeah. On paper, Henry's resume is great, but Henry can't read. That's funny, bro. Just look at his face, bro. Knows what he's doing. Kenny hopping on the triple D. Sonnen never lost. I don't know why it says W over Chael. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Yeah, on paper, it looks great. It looks great, but then you start to break it down, and it's not that great, bro. He lost to DJ Benavidez and Dogs post-retirement. That's true. He retired and came back, and he hasn't got a win since, has he? I don't think so. But yeah, he's lost to some good fighters. Let's see. Merab, Aljo. Oh, he lost to Song Yadong as well, but Song Yadong's a good fighter. Merab at 11.
I'll let it age a little bit, but
dude, you can't look. I don't disagree with this, but you cannot tell me there's no bias when losses. He has bad beginner's luck first 2 fights. That's crazy. I don't judge the losses early in Merab's career I don't negatively affect his resume because of that. Same way with Islam when he got knocked out by Pantoja, man, back in the day. I don't count that too much against him. If he would have got KO'd in his prime, sure. Never should have came back. I think Merab at 11 is valid, though. I do. He beat Sean O'Malley twice. Sort of dominant fashion in both of them. The first one was close. Umar, not dominant, but skill for skill, that might be his best win, arguably with Petr Yan. Petr Yan was very dominant. Very dominant. Cejudo cracked him in the first, but Merab took over second and third, dominated those rounds. And then Aldo and Moraes. He's got really good wins, guys. Really, really good wins. O'Malley twice, which some people are going to say, actually, Sean O'Malley sucks, bro. He's not that good. Stop it. Umar, again, doesn't have the names on the resume as a Jan or as an Aldo. But Umar might beat both of them. He might. Umar versus Jan is the fight we need, bro. Dude, that's such a good fight. I don't know who wins that, honestly. Jan, he dominated Jan, guys. That's his best win in terms of performance because he dominated. Merab's got a really good resume, bro. Really, really good resume. And he's fought strikers. He's fought grapplers. He's fought everything. He's fought well-rounded fighters. He's fought everything, bro. People with reach advantages. Merab's, I think he's top 10. I mean, I knew this was coming. Y'all know I love Izzy. Izzy's my favorite fighter as well. I know it's Kenny's. But, bro, Merab placement's not crazy. I don't think it is either. I have Merab at 10 on my list. I have Merab at 10. If y'all haven't checked out my GOAT list, y'all go check that out too. But Izzy at the 10, man. I think it's too high. Bro. I love Izzy. Best win being Alex Pereira. Okay, he's also 1-1 with them, which, and if you look at context, man, he'll probably look at context for some wins and not some other ones, but he beat Pereira. The loss, though, he was winning the fight, and then Alex Pereira put the pressure on him around 5 and 1. But he has 2 wins over Whitaker. Great wins, one of them being close. 2 wins over Vettori, one of them being close as well. I think one of those was a split decision, which isn't great. But he beat Paulo Costa, which at the time was a very good win. It, again, hasn't aged well, but Jared Cannonier, still a good win. Gastelum at the time was a good win. Brunson at the time was a good win. But he's lost. Dude, the Izzy fall off, man. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. So he's saying Izzy's the number 1 middleweight of all time? Yeah, I guess he is. If he's over Silva, yeah. Pereira. Lost to Pereira, lost to Dricus, lost to Strickland, lost to Imavov, and lost to Jan. He has good losses as well. Man. I would love to say I agree, but I don't. I don't. Especially when you're looking at dominance, man. That's one of his most highest criterias. Wait, hold on. His criteria is quality of wins, number 1. Number 2 being dominance, right? Which of these fights did Izzy dominate? I mean, maybe Cannonier, he controlled the fight. I guess Costa, he finished him. Gastelum was a war. He dominated Brunson, sort of. Very close fight with Vettori. Very close fight with Whitaker. Was losing when he knocked out Pereira. I don't know, man. Top 10, I think, is a little too high. I have Izzy in my top 15, though. I do. He has a lot of title wins as well. Good names. The division at the time was just very bad, and that's not his fault. But, oh my gosh. Guys, he's talking about Izzy forever. He had a whole 5-minute segment on Izzy.
Their whole purpose in life is just to hate on people
I'm
like
not
Izzy for
listening
no
to all that,
reason.
bro.
Moving on from that, though. Adesanya is still top 10. Let's get into the number 9 spot. Demetrius Johnson, he fell a little bit in my list.
Mighty Mouse, bro. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. So far, the list is I don't love it. I don't love it at all. Have Izzy around 15. I agree. Threw the dominance criteria out the window with Izzy. Yeah, you can tell he's picking and choosing with some guys, man. Demetrius Johnson is a perfect example of dominance, right? Izzy after the dog stuff losses over. Kenny the type of dude to put CM Punk top 5. Izzy got found out as soon as you put pressure on Izzy. He doesn't know what to do and crumbles nowadays. Yeah, I kind of do think Izzy got figured out a little bit, but at the same time, he's also getting older, which those two don't go well together. But Demetrius at 9. Again, quality of wins is not great. And based on this criteria, I understand this, but I don't agree. Okay? Because Benavidez twice, Ray Borg, Henry Cejudo, Dobson. He said Dobson. But yeah, his number 2 and number 3, again, are same argument with Silva. His dominance and title wins. I mean, Demetrius Johnson has what? How many title wins? 12? 11? Something like that? And he dominated. He was trick-shotting, bro. Demetrius Johnson was pulling out a flying armbar just because, bro. Just because. I don't like this placement. Mighty Mouse should be higher, bro. Especially if you're going to factor dominance and title wins as 2 of the things in your top 3 criteria. Volkanovski at H. I think he should be higher, but top 10. At least you have him in the top 10, sure. 3 wins over Max Holloway. A win over Yair Rodriguez. Good win. Ortega. Good win. Aldo. I think Aldo's still a better win than potentially both of these. Even though Aldo was a little bit older. Wasn't old, though. But yeah, I'd put Aldo as his second best win, or after the 3 wins against Max. Diego Lopez, Chad Mendez, also the Korean Zombie, man. Talk about dominating Korean Zombie. And then lost to Topuria and Islam. Lost to 2 of the most skilled fighters of all time. Let's be real. Volk, I think is a little bit too low because also it makes sense because he has, in terms of his eyes, because he has Max Holloway at what, 24? He had Holloway at like 24. So if you don't factor Holloway as such a great win, as a lot of people do, including myself, then I guess it lines up with this Volkanovski placement. But again, I don't agree. I think Max Holloway's a top 15 fighter of all time instead of top 25. So that boosts up Volkanovski, in my eyes, to the top 5. That's what I think. Also, he has, I think Max is a top 15 win and Aldo's a top 15 win. So hypothetically, or on paper, Volkanovski would have 4 top 15 wins. And his losses being its 2 top 10 opponents, in my eyes. I'm sure he'll have Ilya and Islam both in the top 10 as well because we haven't seen them. But great losses. Context of losses, one of his things, right? Dominance. 2 close fights with Max. 1 very, very dominant fight. Dominant performance against Yair. Ortega had some moments, but for the most part, sort of dominant for Volk, I guess. Yeah. And then someone that also dominated Korean Zombie, but I think Volk's a little bit too low. I think he's a little bit too low. I think the Lopez win will age really well too. And yeah, Lopez was on a streak. Lopez was finishing a lot of people. He was on a nice little win streak at the time. Volkanate, don't hate it necessarily, but I think he should be higher. Ilya at 7. I just don't think you can put Ilya above Volk yet. DJ at 9 is too high. Wow. Volk should be 2 or 3. I agree. I have Volk at 4 actually. I think Volk should be 4 or 5. I think he should be top 5. 6 at the least. 6, 7 at the least, probably. I truly believe DJ is the smartest fighter of all time. Put him in any generation and he's dominating. Once in a lifetime fighter. He is a once in a lifetime talent for sure. Amanda should be included for what she's done. Yeah, I don't have women's fighters in mind, but yeah, she's the women's GOAT for sure. All right, Ilia Topuria. Tell me there's no bias. Losses, what's that? I'm the best, trust me. Wins, dude, the wins that Ilia Topuria is holding right now are insane. Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Even the Josh Emmett win is solid. It is. And if you look at domination, talk about domination. He 50-42'd Josh Emmett. Also dominated Bryce Mitchell, which is also a solid win. It is, bro. It is. But yeah, he has no losses. If he were to retire today, that's how I look at the GOAT list, kind of. When I'm looking at current fighters, I'll think about it if they retired today. So if Ilya racks up another win, he moves up. If he racks up some losses, he moves down. So it's hard to judge and finalize on these fighters that are still fighting today. But yeah, Ilya in the top 10, I respect
Against
it.
Max, knockout.
I
Wins against
respect
Charles,
it, bro.
situation in UFC history.
Then he has Islam at 6. I think Islam's too low. Honestly, I expected Kenny to have Islam higher. I can't lie. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he would. Islam, okay. We're factoring it. Let's think about the criteria, right? Quality of wins. He has Charles Oliveira, prime Charles Oliveira, prime Volkanovski, one of the times. The second one, you can say 1.5 wins over Volk. Not prime Dustin, but a very, very good version, a very game version of Dustin Poirier. A very wise Dustin Poirier, man. And then Dan Hooker, which has aged well, finished him in the first round. Moicano finished him in the first round. So if you look at all 3 facets, the top 3 criteria things, quality of wins, he's got it. Number 2 being dominance. You don't have to say he dominated Charles, but he was winning the fight and finished him in the second round. He dominated the rematch of the Volk fight, not the first one. But again, you're not going to dominate a top 5 fighter of all time. It's just not realistic. Dustin Poirier was not dominant, but the Hooker win and Moicano win, very, very dominant. When you're one of the GOATs, you should be doing that to a Dan Hooker. You should be doing that to a Money Moicano. And lost to Pantoja Fluke. Also, if you want to talk about numbers, Islam has what? 5 title wins? Is that right? 5 title wins. And a 15-fight win streak. I think he should be a little bit higher, but at least he's in the top 10. I'm glad people are not keeping Islam out of the top 10 anymore. I'm glad those days are gone. Oh, GSP, man. GSP's at the 5, man. GSP's at the 5. Dude, who's going to be ahead of GSP? He's already used Silva. He's already used Mighty Mouse. It's not even Islam. Who's going to be ahead of GSP, bro? Matt Hughes twice, which at the time, really, really good. At that time, people forget, man, at that time, Matt Hughes was the greatest mixed martial artist up to that point. Okay? Still haven't seen Gamrot Facts. That's who's ahead of GSP. I'll agree with that. Sarah, Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, Jake Shields. Yeah, he does have good wins, man. At the time, these wins were actually really good. The Matt Serra win was decent, but the Carlos Condit win was really good. The Nick Diaz win was really good as well. People named Matt. He lost the flukish KO, lost to Matt Serra, and also lost to Matt Hughes earlier in his career. GSP at the 5 is crazy, bro. Usman going to be over GSP? Yep, that's what's going to happen, bro. That's what's going to happen. Also, he has not said Habib yet, so he's got Habib in the top 5. Here we go, guys. Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman. Thoughts on Osman. Rest of list will be Habib, Jones, Fedor, and Nunes. Well, he's got Kamaru Usman in the top 5, man. Over GSP is crazy work, bro. The thing is, I love the Usman respect. I have Usman maybe at number 11, though. I don't have him top 5, man. What about his resume? What about Kamaru Usman's career puts him ahead of Islam or GSP? But if you break it side by side to Islam's resume, okay, let's break it down. Tyron Woodley versus a Charles Oliveira win. Which one's better? I would say Charles Oliveira. Okay, let's look at their second wins. What about Colby Covington versus Alexander Volkanovski? The first fight. That's not even close. Okay. Joaquin Buckley versus, that's on par. Let's be real. That's on par with like a Dan Hooker win. It just is. And Usman did dominate. Islam got him out in the first round. So whichever one you think's better depends on you. Masvidal, compare Masvidal to a Dustin Poirier. It's not close. Even that version of Dustin Poirier, in my eyes, honestly, is a better win than even a Colby Covington at that time. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. Nigeria bias? It might be, bro. It honestly might be. Because think about it, man. He has Ngannou, Usman, and Izzy all in the top 17. And you can't tell me there's no bias, bro. You can't tell me there's no... Wait. Guys, remember when Khamzat Chimaev was at 30 and he listed a win as Usman? But now, when it's convenient, he has Khamzat as a draw for Usman. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Talk about bias. He used a Kamaru Usman win to validate Khamzat Chimaev being on the list, but at the same time, he's going to use the same exact fight, Khamzat Chimaev, as a draw instead of a loss to validate Usman in the top 5. Come on, bro. The thing is, just put Khamzat as a loss, man. It does not count much against you at all. Leon twice. I think Islam's resume is better. I think Volk's resume is better. Usman's at 7. I have Usman just outside my top 10. I don't mind if you have him in the top 10, but bro, dominance. He dominated Woodley. His best win, he dominated, yes. He dominated Buckley. Dominated Masvidal one of the times because he knocked him out. Sure, he was dominant. He was dominant, I guess, if that's what he's trying to say. Sure. It's I would argue that he's not. I mean, he's on par of dominance as Islam. People talk about Usman's dominance, which it's kind of getting overrated a little bit, bro. I love Usman. Okay, DC in the top 3. I actually like this take. I'm not gonna lie, I like this take. Daniel Cormier at 3, bro. Yo, love your vids. Can I please get a shout out? Shout out CJ, man. I appreciate you, bro. There's no shame in losing to Hamza. Exactly. Daniel Cormier in the top 3. Honestly, I think this is valid. Guys, I ain't gonna lie, I hate this list so far. I hate it. I can't even lie. I do not like it. But DC in the top 3, I do love. I love. Let's look at the resume. A win over Stipe, even though he's 1-2. That's the sad reality of it. But he beat Gustafsson. Really, really good win at the time. 2 wins over Rumble. Also, really, really good wins. He has a win over Frank Mir, Bigfoot Silva, Volkan Oezdemir, which aged very well. And then Derek Lewis, beat Francis Ngannou, man. MMA math for you. Only lost to John Jones and Stipe. Also, he's missing Anderson Silva on the resume as well. And Dan Henderson, maybe some more. I mean, on paper, DC's resume looks very good too with Stipe, Gustafsson, Rumble, Dan Henderson, Anderson Silva, man. Derek Lewis. I mean, hey, if Derek Lewis beats Talashin Teixeira, basically what I'm saying is Daniel Cormier becomes the new GOAT. That's all it is, man. But if Derek Lewis loses, that bumps down Ngannou even more, bro. It bumps him down even more. When's Cashel going to book a fight, man? I don't know. We're waiting on some news, bro. We're waiting on some news. I have DC at 6'7". No brain rot. DC at 7. I have DC in the top. I think I have DC at 6, actually. I think I have him at 6. DC cute, so he deserved number 1. Facts. It's kind of weird to say Silva and DC fought. Yeah. I don't hold that to like very high standards, but he did. I mean, he was ragdolling him. He was throwing him around. Same with Dan Henderson. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on.
Whether you're a professional technician or simply take pride in maintaining your own cars.
Sorry about that, man.
Dre. But let's go to the number 2 spot.
I peeked. I saw who number 2 was, man. Oh, no. This just doesn't match his criteria. Am I the only one seeing this? Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, if you agree with him, but it does. This does not match his criteria. Am I wrong? Because his most important thing is quality of wins. Khabib has a couple good quality wins. He does. Number 2 is crazy. Dominance, I'll give him that. He probably is the most dominant fighter in UFC history, but his other 2 criteria is number 1 being quality of wins and number 3 being title wins. How many title wins do you have? Look at the pause, bro. Bro won the belt off AI. Oh, Al. Al Aquenta, yeah. Look at the face. Ultimate Rage Baiter. Facts. Wins over Rafael dos Anjos. That's actually been an underrated win on the resume, but Conor McGregor coming off the Floyd Mayweather boxing fight. That's the reality of it. Not trying to discredit the win, though. Dustin Poirier, prime Dustin. Sure. Prime Gaethje. Edson Barbosa, Michael Johnson. It's not a better resume than Islam. It just is not. Look at me glazing Islam, bro. It's not a better resume than Islam. What would you say is Khabib's best win? Khabib Nurmagomedov's best win is, I would honestly say Dustin Poirier. Prime Dustin Poirier is not as good of a win as prime Volkanovski. I mean, it's sort of close, but I don't think it is. I think a prime Oliveira is a better win than prime Dustin, since prime Oliveira beat prime Dustin. Come on, bro. How can you have Khabib over Ilya? Exactly. How can you have him over Ilya? Actually, that's a good point. Khabib hater, I have him at 8. He has 3 good wins on the resume. Dude, the list just doesn't match his criteria, bro. I'm telling you, there's bias on here because, dude, now that I'm thinking about it, he likes the Russian fighters, right? The Russian and the African fighters. It's just, I can tell. It's his favorite fighters. It's the fighters that he likes or thinks is underrated. He has on here. Khabib, Magomed Ankalaev's on here. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, Magomed Ankalaev was number 22, above Max Holloway. Movsar Evloev was on here. Who else did he have? I don't even remember, but he had Ngannou, Izzy, and Kamaru Usman at number 4, bro. Losses, LOL. He did not have any losses. That's great. He does have some good wins. His resume does get underrated to a degree, but I don't understand. Somehow Khabib's the most overrated fighter, but at the same time he's underrated. I don't know, bro. People don't rank him in the right spots. People either have him as the GOAT or they have him as a top 20. Why can't we just find middle ground, guys? Why can't we all just come together in harmony and live in peace, bro? Khabib at 2 is ridiculous. And then John Jones at the 1. Jones wins over DC. 2, but he has 1 win over DC. Okay. Cyril Gane. This win's been getting underrated. I can't even lie. This one's been getting underrated. Gustafsson twice. 1 was competitive. 1 was dominant. Dominated Rampage. Dominated Vitor. Didn't dominate Machida, but then found the finish. Dominated Bonner. Dominated Sonnen. I got to rewatch the Glover fight. I can't even think of that one right now. competitive, dominated Shogun Rua. Jones, if you look at the criteria, yes, he's number one. I think Jones at 1 is fine. The only argument against John Jones being the GOAT is steroid use. That's the only argument. You cannot discredit his resume, bro. Nobody has a better resume than Jones right now. They don't. I just don't think they do. I think there's the best argument right now would be Islam. I think the best argument right now would be Islam. Or GSP. If Islam becomes a double champ, beats JDM, I think Islam's the GOAT. Or if Islam beats JDM and Taporia, I don't think it's close anymore. At that point, the quality of wins, he would also have broken the record he would have broken Anderson Silva's he would be on a 17-fight win streak is what I'm trying to say. Would also be a double champ, would also have wins over Volk, Oliveira, Taporia, Jack Della Maddalena, Dustin Poirier. Then it wouldn't be close. I think Islam should be higher than 6, man. I think Islam should be higher than 6, bro. And Jones is John Duck facts. Jones is fair. I have him lower because of roids, but I think Jones number 1 is valid. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, ducking isn't a loss. I agree. See, this whole narrative, which yes, Jones did duck Aspinall. It's a fact. But the thing is, even if John Jones would have lost to Tom Aspinall, I still would not drop him down in my GOAT list. Because Tom Aspinall looks unbeatable. Jones going up at heavyweight. He's old. He's obviously out of his prime. See, people like to nitpick, oh, well, Aldo lost this fight. Well, he was out of his prime. But if John Jones were to lose to Aspinall, man, he's not the GOAT, bro. He literally lost. People don't ever play both sides, man. People have their biases and they let it be known. They don't even try to hide it anymore. They don't. My top 10. Okay, let's read it. John O'Duck at 1. Islam at 2. Ooh, I like the Islam respect. Oh, wow. This one took a turn. Volk at 3. Ilya at 4. Habib at 5. GSP at 6. Francis at 7. 8. Poirier. 9. DJ. 10. Kamaru Usman, bro. Wow. That's all I got to say is wow. That's all I got to say. I don't think anyone can catch Jones 15 years at the top. Yeah. Also, I think longevity is a valid criteria to put in a GOAT list. Look at LeBron, man. Look at LeBron. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to cook. I know I just made a GOAT list. If y'all haven't checked that out already, y'all can go check that out for this video. But I'm going to put like 10 different criteria things and have like a ranking. Somebody did this in one of my comment sections. I'm going to do sort of a similar thing and just rank, let's say longevity is a category. I'm going to rank each fighter 1 through 10 on each portion. Let's say longevity, Jones would be a 10 out of 10. Quality of wins, maybe 9 out of 10, whatever. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to have a bunch of different things, 1 through 10, have a whole grading scale, bro. Because you got guys like DJ and Anderson Silva who have 10 out of 10-ish level dominance. Or Silva has 10 out of 10 level dominance, maybe 9 out of 10. But quality of wins would be more of a 5 or 6, probably. I don't know, maybe a 7. Maybe a 7. But it wouldn't be like a 9 or a 10. So that would bring them down a little bit. But at the same time, some fighters that are barely scraping by that have a lot of wins, but they weren't dominating would also bring them down. So it would start to even out, man. It would start to even out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna build the. You know what? I might have a helper here. I might use some AI. I might build the whole criteria and everything, and have ChatGPT even check it and give me the list based on the criteria that I give. The exact criteria. I'm gonna see what AI says, and I'm also gonna give my bias in there. Like we can have skill, we can have longevity, we can have quality of wins, title wins. We can do all that, bro. I'm actually kind of excited for that. I'm going to do that. I might do that soon. Even though I just put out the top 15, it might even change my top 15 because otherwise you're just looking and trying to compare side by side. Oh, this looks better than this. And then with that being said, it's impossible to leave your bias out of the way. So I'm going to build this whole thing, bro. I'm going to build this whole thing and it's going to be valid. We're going to have the best GOAT list on here. I'm telling y'all. Because people start to discredit these earlier fighters because their quality wasn't as good, but at the same time, They have insane quantity. They have they have 10 title wins, which my definition of greatness kind of equivalates to title wins. But at the same time, I factor in quality as well. Hey, yeah, that's asking for trouble. Maybe so. Do a Venn diagram with different MMA related things. What you mean, Dylan? What you mean? Tim Elliott got a title shot off the bat. That shows the depth. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Flyweight Flyweight was cheeks, bro. It was cheeks. But Jones at the 1. We're gonna recap it, guys. We'll look at the criteria again. Quality of wins, dominance, championship medal. I'm guessing that just means title wins. Context of losses. And official results. Official results. Okay. Based on his criteria, I don't see how. Hamzat at top 30.
Do you know what's really fun?
Oh my
Making a
gosh.
website on Wix.
Hamzat at top 30 is not
Kamaru Anthony.
ridiculous, honestly, especially if he beats Dricus. He might be top 25. Dominic Cruz is too low. We got Dominic Cruz at 28. We've got Movzar. Guys, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh. Hey, what would y'all rate this? This might actually be the worst one I've seen. I'm not even lying. I think this might be the worst GOAT list I've ever seen. This is way worse than what's his name? Lucas Tracy's. Hot take, DDP has a better resume than Habib. I disagree. I kind of see where you're going with that, but I disagree. Whitaker and Adesanya are better than Justin and Dustin. But at the same time, he beat Whitaker and Adesanya outside of their peak. When Habib beat Justin and Dustin, they were both at the peak of their game. And Strickland twice is better than Conor and RDA. Honestly, as crazy as this might sound, the Strickland and Conor win are kind of on par. They really are. And Brunson and Till was better than Johnson and Barbosa. I think those are pretty on par. They're actually kind of similar. I would lean towards Habib, though, for sure. Movzar is valid, though. Movzar's crazy. Movzar in the top 30. Yeah, Movzar at 27. Movzar over Dominic Cruz. Arman has more reason than Movzar. I agree. Arman does have more reasoning than Movzar Evloev. Whitaker was 100% at his peak. I disagree. I'm not peak. When I'm saying peak, I mean best version of themselves. He was in his prime. If this makes sense, he was in his prime. I just don't think he was at his peak. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Movzar's top 80, no cap. Facts. And then he has Dustin. He has Dustin Poirier and Movzar Evloev 1 spot apart. Figueiredo. Max Holloway at 24. Dude, this list is bad, man. Max Holloway should be way higher. Max Holloway and Movzar Evloev are 3 spots apart. Movzar's top 80. Arman's underrated and overhated. I agree. I like Arman Sarukian, man. I really, really, really want to see Arman versus Ilya. That's the fight to make, bro. It really is. If Ilya adds the Arman Sarukian to his resume, bro, again, Arman doesn't have the resume of a Charles or a Volk or Max, but that would be really, really good, bro. Really, really good. It's going to age beautifully as long as Arman doesn't retire. Can you do live connections? Should we do live connections? It's 3 a.m. I'm going to call tonight. All right, Dylan. I appreciate you, bro. Why would anyone watch Kenny Okoye? I was told to react to this GOAT list, bro, and it was, I ain't gonna lie, he said, look at the title, Exposing Lucas Tracy's Terrible GOAT List. Lucas Tracy's is way better than this. It was way better than this one. I'm going to put together a top 30 or something. Probably top 30, maybe top 25. Even Tony Ferguson is better than Movzar. It's 4 at night here. Oh my gosh. We got people all over the country, bro. Y'all like to stream. What he disrespected my goats. My goat Max. Oh, Max. Yeah, he disrespected Max bad. Arman might beat Ilya. Bryce Mitchell was better on the ground than Ilya before getting submission. Dude, I just watched Arman versus Gamrot today. I rewatched it, bro. Super close fight, man. Arman Sarukian, dude, guys, Gamrot's the one to beat Ilya, man. Legit though, who watches Kenny except for trolling him? I wasn't even doing this like intending to troll him. I just was told to react to the list, and I was told that it was bad, so I did it, and I watched it, and it was bad. Lucas at least had good arguments. Yeah, the thing is, I'll give credit to Lucas. I don't agree with Lucas's list because I don't agree with his criteria, but based on his criteria, his points, his arguments, and his fighters matched his criteria. I cannot say the same about Kenny Okoye. His arguments and list did not match his criteria that he gave. So, Magomed Ankalaev was at the 22, guys. Magomed Ankalaev was above Max Holloway. It gets to a point, bro. All I see now is GOAT list and reactions. Yeah, it's GOAT list season, bro. I'm telling you. Once I posted my GOAT list, everybody posted their GOAT list, man. I think Gamrot won. Dude, honestly, I can see the argument for both. I think maybe Gamrot, dude, it was super close. I think it comes down to round. I think Gamrot won 4 and 5, and Arman Sarukian won 1 and 2. I think it comes down to round 3. That's what I think. We all know that Bedtime is the best MMA YouTuber. All right, buddy. I used to watch their shorts, but they were too zesty for me to watch the long form. I don't know who that is. What's up, Ty? What's up? Lucas actually has all of MMA YouTube in his palm. That's what it sounds like, bro. That's what it sounds like. I swear, it's always when Lucas posts a GOAT list, everybody goes crazy and starts posting GOAT lists. But let's be real, I did post mine first. I posted mine first. Lucas always glazes imposing your will. Gamrot imposed his will with the wrestling on Arman in round 4. All Arman had was that spinning back fist knockdown. He was trying to get out of the wrestling. Yeah, he did have that. Also, what was I about to say? Oh, one visual that did not look good was you could tell Arman Sarukian was slowing down in that fight. You could. That might have also paid dividends, man, as a vocabulary lesson in the judging. Trash list. Why doesn't Chael occupy all spots? Yeah, Chael every spot in the number 1 cousin Gamrot. Some people say Charles got robbed from Arman, but not Arman won that. I agree. I think Arman won as well. Y'all like to stream, man. Y'all like to stream. We're about to get out of here. McGregor. See, I don't even think McGregor should be above Holloway. I don't think they're super far off, but I know he beat him. I don't even think McGregor should be above Holloway. He's got Dricus Duplessis, Aljamain Sterling, Francis Ngannou, and Magomed Ankalaev all above Max Holloway. Lucas is the Skip Bayless of MMA. You love him, but you know he's going to stir the pot. I love Skip Bayless. You're right. I think you're right, bro. I lean towards Arman in the fight. No way. It was 49-46. Oh, yeah. I saw that. He said that Arman Sarukian won 4 rounds. No. I don't mind the argument. Arman potentially won the fight, sure. I thought it was going to be a split decision. All 3 judges saw it as Gamrot, though. They all did. I don't think Arman outstruck Gamrot enough to cancel out. Yes, I agree. Arman was outstriking Gamrot, but at the same time, like he'd land. It wasn't like he was piecing him up on the feet at all. He would land a body kick every 60 seconds. He'd land a hard body kick or a leg kick. He wasn't tagging him up, touching him up. No, he just wasn't. I think Gamrot won, actually. I think Gamrot ever so slightly won and edged it out. Lucas has actually good arguments. Skip doesn't. DDP will get submitted in the 3rd. This is some inside information. David has the script, guys. David has a script. Unc, I didn't get the stream notification. My bad. Thank you for putting me in the GOAT list video. I got you, Adrian. We're finna wrap it up. We just reacted to Kenny Okoye's atrocious list. Adrian, I thought that Lucas Tracy's list was bad, but let me put this into perspective for you. Top 30. You can just look for a second at his criteria. Here's the criteria that he gave. Okay, look at that for a second, and now look at his list. Movsar Evloev at 27. Max Holloway at 24. Magomed Ankalaev at 22, ahead of Max Holloway. DDP at 20. This is the most valid so far. This is the most valid so far. Aljamain Sterling at 18, also above Max Holloway. Francis Ngannou, 17, also above Max Holloway. Anderson the Spider Silva at 13. Oh, I forgot about this one, guys. Henry Cejudo at 12. This was like the worst one. Because he talks about context of losses. Why don't we talk about context of wins, man? And then Izzy was in the top 10. We should have known. DJ at 9. Volk at 8. I'll just give you the top 10. Ilya at 7. Islam at 6. GSP at 5. Kamaru Usman at 4. DC at 3, valid. Habib at 2. And Jones at 1. God. Oh my gosh, man. Do you think we will see DDP making Hamzat cry? That would be insane, bro. I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like scorecards are biased towards favorites because sometimes judges are too stupid to actually judge. Yeah, I was watching speaking of the Arman Sarukian versus Gamrot fight, this might be top 1 list of all time. Dude, please tell me you're joking. Please, Adrian, please. Not you too. But yeah, Arman Sarukian was a big favorite against Gamrot. So, there's that. Y'all want me to do live connections, bro? Skip has some decent takes, but he just throws in the ridiculous ones to mix it up like Lucas. That's kind of true. That's kind of valid. I'm joking. Thank you, Adrian. I can't. Not you too, man. I can't see another one going down. This guy more like hardcore take MMA, brother. Facts. Y'all like the stream, man. Y'all like the stream. I love talking about GOAT. The GOAT List season, man, the best time of the year. If anybody's late, I'm going to really go in depth and put together like 10 different criterias and rate each fighter 1 through 10 on longevity, for example, quality of wins, dominance, skill level, and really use this whole thing, smush it together, rank all these fighters, and we're going to have a definitive, 100% correct, maybe top 30 UFC GOAT list. Every Hamzat fan has a great excuse for the closest, for the closet fight Hamzat has, for the closest fight he has been in, I guess. Gilbert fight. Didn't follow his game plan. Usman fight, broke his hand. Okay, I see what you're saying. I had an aneurysm trying to read that. But, yeah, Hamzat. The thing is, I still am under the impression that Hamzat Chimaev could have just finished Gilbert Burns or could have dominated Gilbert Burns, but I think he just wanted to brawl. There's no proof of that. That's just my opinion. Thanks for the 8.6, by the way. But having a lower grade than a list with Izzy 7 is nasty work. That was the only, I think that might have been, I forgot who that was, but that list was very, very valid except for Izzy at 7. I know what you're talking about too. DC at 3 is not valid. I don't think he's at 3. I have him at closer to 6. I like the respect. That's what I'm saying. Rory McDonald, top 15 trust. What do you think is the deepest division in the UFC right now? Ooh, the deepest as of right now, probably welterweight, maybe. In terms of name value and everything, I would say lightweight, but they're all getting older. It's not as competitive as it once was. The most competitive might be welterweight. That's a good question. It's a good question. Imagine watching a casual stream and not talking in the chat. Facts. Imagine watching a casual stream and not liking the stream, bro. Imagine. Did y'all see that Angelusa got cut? I did see that. How is DC top 3 his most notable win is Stipe when he lost twice? I got DC at top. I think he's top 5, arguably. Again, we're going to put this. Everybody said welterweight. My chat's delayed as well. Everybody said welterweight, yeah. Unranked lightweight is so much worse than unranked welterweight. Welterweight's very good right now. Very good. Y'all, we only have one more week of DP. Oh, somebody asked who those gloves were signed by. That's Dustin Poirier, man. Also, guys, I'm popping out at UFC 318. Even though the card is not great. Not great, but I'm going to be there for Dustin's final fight. Even though I mentioned this earlier, I can see Dustin Poirier retiring here. It was you, Adrian, you, Izzy at 7. See, I thought the list was very valid. Outside of that, I thought Izzy should have been a little bit lower. What was I talking about? I don't even know. I forgot. Completely forgot. Welterweight has like 7 guys that can win the belt. Yeah. I could see the belt getting passed around, but I'm not going to lie. The thing is, I've never been a true believer in Jack Della Maddalena until recently, bro. I picked him to beat Bilal Muhammad. We picked him, guys. This was a crafty vet move by your boy. We picked JDM by decision perfectly against Bilal Muhammad. I have not been as much of a believer until I've really dived into the film and saw him beat Bilal Muhammad the way that he did. Not like he dominated him or anything, but he was piecing him up on the feet, landed some nasty combos. But not only that, he would stuff most of the takedowns. But when he did get taken down, he scrambled up to his feet, bro. That's going to give a lot of fighters a lot of problems in the welterweight division, especially Islam Makhachev, bro. I'm kind of thinking that JDM beats Islam at this point, bro. JDM is a bad matchup for everybody in the division. He's a bad matchup for Shavkat. I think he beats the brakes off of Shavkat, bro. I know that sounds crazy. I think JDM beats Shavkat. I think JDM beats Islam at this point. I think JDM beats Ian Gary. I think he beats Sean Brady. We'll have to see. We're going to learn a lot from the Islam fight. I think it's a bad matchup for Islam, bro. I really do. I think it's a bad matchup for Islam. The reason being, Islam is a better, more skilled wrestler than Bilal Muhammad, yes. But Islam, go ahead. I know this doesn't mean everything. Islam's going to have the lighter man skill, yes, but he's not as big as JDM. He's not as big. Maybe he can hold him down better than Bilal Muhammad. But Islam is similar to Bilal Muhammad, but he also has the threat of the submission. But at the same time, Bilal Muhammad is a pressure fighter. Islam is not. Islam's more of a counter striker. He's going to be content on the back foot, and I think that's not going to be great. It's going to be hard to shoot takedowns against JDM when you're backed up against the cage. And we've seen Islam struggle with some boxers with good takedown defense, like Dustin Poirier. And I think this version of JDM is a lot better than Dustin Poirier, than that version of Dustin. And he's bigger. He's a bigger, better version of Dustin. I think JDM's going to beat him. People say JDM's only an inch taller than Islam as if body types aren't a thing. Yeah, facts. Don't forget that according to Bilal, Islam ragdolls him. I think JDM wins, bro. I agree, Casual. I agree, too. I agree, too. I don't like the hate that everyone gives me. I don't like the hate that everyone gives the BMF belt. I feel like they do it to seem more hardcore. Interesting. Is the BMF title actually getting a lot of hate? I will say I have hated on the BMF title. I don't hate the BMF title at all. Love the idea of it. I do. I've made one comment about the BMF title, and I said that I don't think it should be a regular thing. I think it should be a special occasion type of thing. I think it should come out maybe once a year. I don't want to see the BMF title going on the line 3 times a year. I don't want to see that. I want to see it once a year max. I want it to be a very special thing. Like whoever's the BMF champion, I don't want them to have to put their career to the side to defend the BMF title. I want them to, they can be the BMF champion while also chasing an undisputed title. What do you think Van needs to do in order to beat Pantoja? And do you think there's anyone that Pantoja needs to fight in order to be the flyweight GOAT? How does Van beat Pantoja? I mean, the simple answer would be to stuff the takedowns and keep it standing, but Van has to be on the pressure, man. He does. Pantoja loves getting in your face, pressuring you, and Van cannot let that happen. I'm going to be honest. Van has to be walking forward. If he's on the back foot, you're going to get pressured. You might even get cracked by Pantoja, which Van's a better striker than Pantoja, but it's so hard when you're on the back foot, when you're up against the cage, you have to worry about the takedowns and the striking. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And what does Pantoja need to do to become flyweight GOAT? Pantoja, if he beats Van, if he beats Van, that's 5 title defenses, right? If he beats Van, I think I can see the argument. I can honestly see the argument now. I'm going to say it's so hard, man. It's so hard. If Pantoja beats Van, he'll have cleared out the division. Flyweight GOAT is so difficult. Maybe 2 wins. I'll say 2 wins, maybe. Let's see. I think everyone glazes Islam too much. And he's not as good as Habib. Ooh, interesting take. I kind of agree. He's more well-rounded, but at the same time, I would pick Habib, be more confident in Habib to win a fight. JDM going to win. He has a size and anti-grappling and striking. That's what I'm saying. He's really a bad matchup for Islam. He's a bad matchup. He really is. I hate the UFC pretends the BMF is a title fight. BMF title has no stakes in the title picture. It's hard to get people hyped about it. I hate the BMF, not going to lie. Hey, Adrian, people in the YouTube chat are saying they hate the BMF title. Ilya versus Topuria BMF fight. BMI championship. Shamil Ghazi versus Tuivasa. Facts. Max is literally the definition of BMF, the perfect fighter for the belt. Yeah, it was made for a guy like Max. If Pantoja beats Van, he needs to move up to bantamweight. I agree. I think that's what he will do. There's going to be nobody to fight. Maybe a Manel Kopp if he gets a couple wins. But Manel Kopp keeps pulling out of fights. So if Manel Kopp goes and beats like a Kaikar France, Pantoja's already beat him though. I think Pantoja's already beat Manel Kopp. So if he beats Manel Kopp and Van, he's the flyweight GOAT. All right, I'm going to head out. Love the streams, man. Can't wait for the GOAT list. I appreciate you, C-Dog. Hit the like button. And like the stream if you haven't already. I appreciate you, bro. Is Hamzat a top 50 all-time a hot take or not? No, that's not a hot take. I think it's top 50, yes. Yes. Leach, Holland, Burns, Usman, Whitaker, yes. I agree. Top 50 for sure. Even though he hasn't touched the belt yet. I think he's probably... I don't think top 30 is crazy, to be honest, but... It's hard. It's hard when these fighters are still fighting. Do you think Izzy can ever get the belt back? Adrian, don't do this to me. Y'all know I love Izzy. Izzy's my favorite fighter. Can he get the belt back, man? The thing about Izzy, bro, he looked good. He looked really good in the Dricus du Plessis fight. He was building momentum before we got finished. And also... the bad performance was Strickland, which I don't know what to tell you on that one. But he looked good in the Dricus du Plessis fight. He looked really good in the Imavov fight. He won the first round, and he got caught, bro. It's like, I want to say yes, but he's got a lot of work to do. He has to win probably 2 fights in a row to get to the title. And if Hamzat's the champion, Izzy's not beating Hamzat. There's no world. I don't think he beats him, bro. Maybe, if Izzy had this one-shot knockout power like a Pereira, I might say there's a chance, but there's just not. There's not, man. I've been saying that I think Izzy's in his prime, but his chin isn't. Honestly, Adrian, that is going to sound like a crazy take to some people. That's not that crazy to me. Izzy has looked really good in these fights. He looked really good in the Dricus fight. He got tagged by some shots. So maybe the chin just isn't there, man. After the Poetan fight. I don't know. He looks good. He looks like the skill level is still there. It's sad. Hamzat versus DDP isn't as close as people say. Hamzat subs in 1. I got Hamzat as well. I don't think Dricus is good. I just think Hamzat is too good in the grappling department. Hamzat's above Arman all time. Hamzat versus Arman. Arman's win over Charles is more impressive than Hamzat's wins, but I agree with that. I agree with that, though. I still agree with that. Realistically, Ilya should be BMF champion. Max said he keeps the belt because it was a featherweight. Even though the BMF started at welterweight, is now at lightweight. Ilya, yeah, he don't care. He don't care. Who's the pull-out GOAT? Manel Kopp, Chimaev, Arman, or Costa? Let's give Arman a little bit of slack, man. As far as I'm concerned, this is the only fight he's pulled out of. But maybe I'm wrong. Dude, Manel Kape pulls out of a lot. It's between Chimaev and Costa, bro. 5 title defenses in the modern era is very different than in Mighty Mouse's time. Yes, I agree. Definitely Armand, he pulled so hard out of Nina, he broke his back. Izzy was never that good. The division just got decent. Hot take from Tyler. Ooh. Hey, Adrian. We have somebody in the YouTube chat saying that Izzy was never that good. The division just got decent. This is an interesting take because the middleweight division was buns when Izzy was reigning. I will admit that. That's an interesting take, man. I think Izzy was special. I do think Izzy was special, to be honest. I don't know if people started to figure him out or if, I don't know, man. I don't know because he's looked good. He really did. He was winning the fight. I think that he was, let's say, I think he got finished in round 4. He was on his way to being 2-2 going into the 5th against Dricus. And he won the first round off of Imavov. So I don't know. I don't agree with that. But watching my GOAT live for the first time, let's go. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. I genuinely don't know who wins between Dustin and Max. Dude, I don't either. I'm leaning towards Max. I think I'm going to say Max. Like, right now, I'm leaning towards Max Holloway. But, I mean, Dustin's coming off a loss, but Dustin looked really, really good against Islam, bro. He did. Izzy ain't top 20. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But you look, let's see. I was considering that the division did evolve and Izzy was left behind. It's possible. Also, it doesn't help that Izzy's getting older. How old is Izzy? Like 35? It does not help, man. It does not help. But you look at Izzy's performances and you can't call him not that good. I agree. I think it's chin. It could be. Not trying to be biased since he's my favorite fighter, but I don't think you can make the argument that he was never good. You can't say somebody was not good when they had 5 title defenses. Honestly, one thing, this is going to sound like cope and delusion, but one thing, if you rewatch the Izzy versus Jan Blachowicz fight, it was closer than I remembered. People forget Jan had to wrestle to win the fight, which Jan is a great striker too. But he really imposed his will, man. He really had to use his size to win that fight. Izzy would, if Izzy would have been double champ, imagine how people would view him like instead if he would have beat Jan Blachowicz and then came back down. That'd be crazy, man. Max looks so good right now. He's going to school Poirier on the feet. He's faster. I think he's faster too. And he bulked up this time. I agree. I think he's going to be faster than Dustin. He's a true lightweight this time. He's also younger, closer to his prime. Dude, how old's Dustin? Like 38? If Dustin wins, Max should retire, dude. Also, Max gets put in a really bad spot if Dustin wins because he'll be on a 2-fight losing streak. But they're the good fighters, man. Dustin and Ilya back to back. That's not bad losses. But if Max can add a Dustin Poirier to the resume, man, that'd be really good. Be really good. Dustin's 36. Oh, he's a little bit. I thought he was 38. Jan outstruck him every round, casual. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that that Izzy won the fight. I'm saying it was closer than I remember. That's really what I'm getting at. Jan definitely had his moments, but I'm saying it's really the thing is you could maybe I'm biased, but Izzy was the faster, more technical striker, but Jan landed the bigger, more powerful shots. That's what I'm saying. He imposed his will, used his size. He showed that the size discrepancy with the takedowns and with the power shots. That's what I think. I'm not calling you casual, by the way, just because your name's casual. Think Mac's gonna do Dustin like Justin? I think it's gonna be closer than that one. That fight really wasn't that close. It's crazy that this fight is the first time Dustin and Max have a full training camp against each other. Exactly. That's true. That's a good point. Dustin's never lost 2 in a row. Neither has Max, except for actually, no, take that back. Yeah, yes. He lost it to Volk twice and maybe again. I don't know. To be fair, Izzy weighed in at like 194. That is true. I don't know why he did that, bro. Y'all think that was to try to prove a point? That sounds like Izzy. I can't lie. Probably to try to prove a point by King. I'll see you. I'll see you, man. I will see y'all. Name every top 10 lightweight Dustin can beat. Right now? You know what? Let's pull that up. Hold on, guys. Let's pull up the UFC rankings real
It's a
quick.
different generation.
Let's go UFC.com. I'm going to get out of here very shortly. Very shortly. We're going to look at the rankings. Let's pull up the computer screen again. Let's go up here. You said name the top 10 that Dustin can beat right now? Okay. Top 10 that Dustin can beat right now. Ilia Topuria? No. Okay, out of 10, let's see how many he beats. Ilia Topuria? No. Islam? No. Arman Sarukian? No. Charles? I'm going to still say no. I think that could be a really good fight, though. Gaethje? I'm going to say Gaethje. I think he beats Gaethje. Max Holloway, as of right now, I'm leaning towards no. Dan Hooker? I'm going to say yes. Gamrot? They would never fight. Ooh. Honestly, I don't think it's crazy to think that Gamrot wins that fight. I think Gamrot wins that, bro. Dariush right now, I would go Poirier. And Paddy Pimblett, I really don't know. I might go Paddy. So out of the top 10, I think Dustin Poirier currently beats Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and Dariush. Maybe that's a hot take to some of y'all, bro. Maybe that's a hot take to some of y'all. What do you think fight of the year is so far? I'm gonna go with Joshua Van and Royval. Maybe that's recency bias. You know what? I actually really enjoyed JDM versus Bilal Muhammad. I really did. That was my fight of the year. I like that one better than Volk and Diego Lopez. I also liked it better than Marab and Umar, which I think Volk versus Lopez is getting a little overglazed. I think it's getting overglazed. Striking weight doesn't matter much. The fact that Izzy was light isn't a big factor since he got outstruck. Is Benson Henderson number one on Rogan's GOAT list? Probably. What do you think is next for Poatan? Do you think he makes the move to heavyweight or does he take the rematch? I think Poatan needs to stop. I don't know if all this is true, but I think that he needs to take the rematch with Ankalaev. The thing is, I don't think he wins it. And I think if he loses that, then you make the jump to heavyweight as your retirement fight. Insanely disrespectful to Dustin. Who does Dustin beat in the top 10? Or who does he lose? Who does he beat in the top 10 that I did not name? Are you talking about Gamrot? Maybe he beats Gamrot. I think it's kind of a toss-up. JDM versus Bilal is my fight of the year, too. Dude, round 5. Oh my gosh, one of the most beautiful rounds I've ever seen. One of the most beautiful rounds I've ever seen. Paddy, overrated. One ranked win, and apparently he's a title contender. It's so hard to tell with Paddy. He gets better and impresses me every single time he steps into the octagon. Mine might be Marab versus Umar. I love that fight. Yuri versus Hill was a good fight. That was a good fight too. That was what, 311? 311 was goated, bro. If it would have capped off with Islam versus Arman, oh my gosh, it potentially could have gone down as my favorite card of all time. Seriously. If Islam would have beat Arman in a competitive fight, we would have had Islam, one of his best wins on the resume. Marab was like a plus 300 against Umar. Great fight. Yuri beating Jamal Hill, bro. What else was on the card on 311? Dude, we also got robbed. We were supposed to have, no, that was 314. Somebody got canceled. I don't remember. But anyway, Gamrot only settles for Dustin Gaethje, actually. Facts. Nicholas Mata versus Nazim Sadikov, sleeper pick for fight of the night or fight of the year. That was a good fight. It didn't last that long, but that was a really good fight. I don't hate him versus Ilya. Dustin versus are you saying just the matchup in general, or if Dustin beats Max, you don't hate the idea of Dustin versus Ilya? Imagine. Patty's a bum. Come on. Casual, you missed my comment twice. Uh-oh. What'd you say, bro? I'm trying to read all the comments, man. I'm sorry if I missed one. Why is Max still ranked in the featherweight division? I don't know, bro. I don't know. They took out. I guess they'll take him out after next weekend. Patty's not a bum, but he gets slept by Ilya. He does. Yes. Patty's really good though. Yeah. The only ones from the top 10 I didn't agree with was Max and Gamrot. You can't say Max beats him when he's beat Max twice, and Gamrot has said Dustin beats him. Gamrot said Dustin beats him, but at the same time, I've seen this, I promise. Dustin also says that Gamrot beats him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that would actually be a very interesting, very entertaining fight. People say that Gamrot's boring. Gamrot is not boring at all. Whatsoever, he's not boring. I don't care. Evolve or Kaio? I'm going Evolve. I think they're both really good. I'm leaning towards Evolve, though. I believe in Nasruddin Evolve. And I think the Izzy loss, man, look, here I come glazing Izzy, but I think the Evolve loss from Izzy is going to age really well. Let's be honest, bro. Poirier would get slept by Ilya, too. Acting like Poirier going to school Ilya. Ilya looks so fast. Gamrot's not boring facts. Ilya would sleep Poirier, I agree. I think Poirier would have some problems, but if you just hang out in the boxing range with Ilya, you're going to sleep. Ilya's way faster than Dustin, especially Dustin right now. Max is in his prime, in my opinion, only lost to the elite. That's not ridiculous. I think he is still in his prime. The thing is, the Gaethje performance was potentially his best performance, one of his best performances. You could say the Calvin Kattar performance, man, but Gaethje and Calvin Kattar are not the same at all. Also, the Kattar win has not aged well either. Even though I hope Dustin wins, it's a different fight than Muffin Top Max or debut Max. It is. It really is. Max is really wanting this win as well. This is what's gonna happen, guys. Max is going to win a competitive fight with Dustin. Dustin's gonna hang up the gloves. Max Holloway's then gonna fight Charles Oliveira at the end of the year. And if Max happens to beat Dustin and then Charles, we're gonna see Max fight for the title again. Whether that's Ilya, I don't know. We might see. Dude, I want the UFC to give Arman Tsarukyan the title shot, bro. I'm gonna be real. I do. Please give Arman Tsarukyan the title shot. In the meantime, do Gaethje versus Pimblett. We see what happens with Dustin and Holloway. If Holloway wins that, then he fights Oliveira. And let's just hypothetically say that Holloway does beat Dustin and he beats Oliveira after that. By that time, we'll have seen Ilya maybe defend against Arman Tsarukyan, which I hope they do that. And then also fight the winner of Gaethje and Patty. And then Holloway can fight the winner after that. But it gets tricky if Islam comes back down. It gets really tricky. Or if Ilya moves up to welterweight. But I could see Ilya moving up to welterweight if Islam wins and then Max fighting for a vacant title. I could see that. Let's see. Oh, I see a conspiracy theory in the chat. Max losing to Dustin means he lost 2 trilogies. Yeah, 0-6 to 2 fighters would be crazy. Movzar or Volkanovski? I got Volk. I'm rocking with Volk. If Max versus Charles happens before Charles' chin can recover, I think Max beats him. Dude, that's a very, very interesting matchup. Max versus Charles, even though Charles, or both of them could potentially be coming off a loss, it's still very, very interesting. It's kind of it's a really good fight for both of their resumes. Patty could not get past Dustin Charles. I think he beats Justin Gaethje. I do think he beats Gaethje. I don't know if he beats Dustin. That was tough. He might, since Dustin's older. It's a good fight, though. I have a conspiracy theory that Lucas Tracy's GOAT list was specifically made to make Volk as high as possible to secure a second interview with Volk. Poirier has a great chin, KO power, good range control. Max's YouTube videos making me more confident he's going to win. I think Max wins, bro. I really do. But the thing is, I don't even know who I'm going for. Like, I want Dustin to win because it's his retirement fight. But at the same time, dude, actually, I'm going for Max, bro. I think I'm actually going for Max now. But I don't want Max to go out there and school him. I want Max to win a very, very competitive fight. I don't want Max to KO him. I want Max to win a very competitive fight. Dustin rides off, retires. Nobody is discrediting him for losing to Max Holloway in his last fight. Nobody does. That's what I want, bro. A lot of people want to see Patty fight Ilya. Arman's actually has so many fun and exciting fights. Yeah. Arman versus Ilya is the fight to make, bro. I don't know why the UFC does. They don't want the fight. Hot take, but Mov's already got Habib level wrestling. People just don't rate it because he's not too entertaining. He also doesn't have the finishing ability of Habib. But in terms of wrestling, Mozart is very, very good. Very, very good. It'd be funny regardless of outcome. The only person that gives Ilya a problem right now, honestly, is Islam. And that's a super close fight. People forget Ilya was a submission artist before his boxing came out. Yeah, I think, dude, the Islam Ilya fight, we need it, bro. It's such an intriguing matchup, man. I think Arman can give Ilya problems. But the thing is, Arman has to get the fight to the ground. I don't feel confident about Arman on the feet at all. He's not a great striker. He's not a bad striker, but he's not elite. I wouldn't even say he's not even a better striker than Charles. Arman versus Gamrot, best grappling fight ever. I watched that today, bro. That fight was awesome. I ain't gonna lie, that's awesome. Why is Movzar called boring? His last boring fight was like 2 years ago. I don't know. People just say stupid stuff, bro. Let's be real. What if a draw happens? Dude, that would be crazy. I wouldn't even be that surprised if they did do that. If they just gave out a draw. I feel like people forgot that Bobby Knuckles is fighting the Riddler soon. Oh yeah, honestly, I forgot that. I can't lie, I forgot that. We're about to get out of here, guys. I'm about to go eat some food. Yeah, I'm about to go eat some food, bro. Scamrot robbed Armand. I'm not gonna call that one a robbery. I can see both sides. I can see both sides, bro. But yeah, y'all like the stream before we get out of here. You don't think Islam versus Jack D? I do, yes. Okay, let me rephrase this. This is what I'm saying. I think Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena will happen. I think it will happen in November at Madison Square Garden. But I think in the meantime, see, if I'm Dana White, man, and I should be. In the meantime, if Ilia Topuria really wants to fight this year in December, like he said, November, Madison Square Garden card, JDM versus Islam. December pay-per-view, Ilia Topuria versus Arman Sarukian. If Ilia wins, he has options. If Ilia and Islam both win, you make the fight with Ilia Topuria and Islam, whether that's at 170 or whether that's at 150, it doesn't matter. But if Ilia wins and Islam wins, you still make the fight. Islam just comes back down to 155. But I know what the UFC's thinking. They want Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria. And it's like, it's going to be fun because the build-up would be fun. But Arman Sarukian's a much better fighter than Paddy Pimblett, bro. That's what I think. I think that would be a good fight as well. But man, dude, that's what the Ilia should fight Arman Sarukian, man. It's just sad because I know the UFC is not going to book that fight. I really don't feel like they are. Arman via round 2, ground and pound TKO. See you later, King. I should probably get some sleep. Yeah, I'm about to hop off, bro. But does Arman really deserve it? Yes, he does, bro. He does deserve it, which people pull out of fights all the time, man. Arman just happened to pull out a day before the fight, which was not good. But Arman just beat Charles Oliveira, who just fought for the title. What about when Charles pulled out against Islam? People weren't like, oh, bro, he's got to earn it again, man. He's got to go prove that he belongs. He had to fight Michael Chandler, but was that his next fight? I don't even know. I don't even remember. I don't remember, bro. Arman deserves it over anybody in this division. Over Charles, who just fought. Unless Islam comes back down, obviously. But Arman deserves it over Justin Gaethje. He deserves it over Holloway, over Poirier, over Hooker. Only exception is Gamrot, man. Gamrot with the win over Arman Sarukian. Gamrot should be next. Gamrot, low-key, if he wouldn't have got robbed against Hooker, Gamrot would be in the mix, bro. He got robbed against Dan Hooker, bro. Go rewatch the fight. I want Paddy and Topuria. It would be fun. I don't think it's that competitive. Thank you for replying to my comment. Love your content. My favorite UFC content. I appreciate you, Zach. Paddy's boring outside of beating up 40-year-olds, and I don't even think. And even then, he had a stinker with T. Furry. He did. If there was a clear number 1 contender, then Arman goes back to the line, but no one deserves a title shot. Yes. See, if there was another contender that deserves it, I would say, sure, Arman Sarukian can fight somebody else. But there's not. There's not. So Arman needs to be next. If they give number 10 Paddy Pimblett the title shot now, there's no coming back from that, bro. All right, guys, I'm finna get out of here. Armin, kid, listen, you pulled out of a fight, kid. Best we can do is launch you to play Apex card. Prelim opener. That's funny, Tyler. That's good. That's good right there. Arman Sarukian, he does. You know what? Pre-Oliveira fight, I thought that Arman Sarukian would be the one to defeat Ilya Taporia, and I still think he can. He can. He's a better grappler than Charles. People don't want to face that fact he doesn't have the submission ability of Charles, but he's a better grappler. He out-grappled Charles. He also has nasty ground and pound. I think him versus Taporia, if Taporia doesn't get him out of there early, that could be a scrap and a half, bro. That could be a really, really good fight. Really, really good fight. All right, guys. Gamrot should be top 5. Can't believe 2 of the judges gave Hooker round 1 for only winning the last minute. Dude, yes. It's because of the bias, bro. Gamrot was winning 4 minutes of the round, but for whatever reason, the last minute went to Dan Hooker, so he just stole the whole round. No. No, bro. Dan Hooker did not win that fight. I love Dan Hooker, but I love Gamrot more. If Gamrot had the Hooker win, he would be riding a good win streak with a win over Arman Sarukian and Dan Hooker. They lost to Dariush, but all right, guys. I'm finna get out of here. I appreciate y'all. I just got here. What's going down? We're leaving stream, bro. We're leaving stream. We reacted to Kenny Okoye's GOAT List, and now we're just playing Matchmaker, bro. But I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry you're late. You can go rewatch it on the YouTube at least or on Twitch, but I will see y'all on, maybe I'll do a surprise stream tomorrow. I'll see y'all on Saturday, man. I will see y'all.